In our last episode, we check out an old abandoned salt mine while getting eaten alive by mosquitoes. This time around, we get pinned down by a gale at Ensenada Grande while making our way south towards La Paz. We left Isla Carmen a few minutes ago and we're heading to Agua Verde. It's about 30 miles away, so a pretty easy hop today. We've got some light wind. We got enough to sail. We'd sail pretty slow, but we haven't really had sun for the last couple of days, so the batteries are pretty low. Solar hasn't really kept up with things, so we're gonna motor, top up the power, we'll get there a little faster, and we'll have time to screw around, which is good. We got to be in La Paz in about 7 days. We've got 4 sets of friends. They're all coming to La Paz about the same time, so we're excited to see them all. We got to get our butts in gear and get down there. And with that, we were on our way.
What's going on, Brenda?
Got a fish. Got a mahi-mahi.
Who's excited?
I'm excited. Hit the gas.
With a fresh fish hanging behind the boat, we made the easy 30-mile hop south to this place, Bahia de Agua Verde.
We made it, and we caught a fish! To me, there's some interesting things about cruising in Mexico. One of them is how they name everything. This place we just anchored, La Bahia de Agua Verde, which means the Bay of Green Water. And what do you know? The water's green. It's a miracle. And we're going for a swim, because it's hot and muggy.
With the water temp hovering around 80 degrees and the air around 85, this place was just about perfect.
Okay, we got a fresh fish. We're gonna make some ceviche. It's the best thing you can do with a freshly caught mahi-mahi. Ceviche is basically some sort of seafood mixed with some stuff and cooked by lime juice. It's not cooked in an oven or on a barbecue, it's just cooked with the lime juice. Here in Mexico, it's pretty much everywhere. Any good seafood restaurant has got it on the menu, and if they don't eat there. It's no good. To make the ceviche, we're going to use this freshly caught mahi-mahi that we just got. So what we're going to use is about 1.5 pounds of this fish, half a red onion, a couple of tomatoes, a jalapeno, a bunch of cilantro. If we had fresh garlic, we'd use that, but we don't. So we're going to use garlic salt because that's what we got. Some salt and pepper. And lots of lime. Lime is the key. It not only cooks the fish, it tastes great. All right, that's that. Gonna put a lid on it, stuff it in the fridge, then it's gonna sit for a while, and then we're gonna eat it. Down the hatch. Delicious.
And the next morning,
we're going to the tippity top. Still in Bahia de Agua Verde. We got here yesterday afternoon and had a pretty nice night with 7 other boats in this tiny little bay. A few of them left this morning, so now it feels spacious out there, but it was crammed pretty tight. We actually came to Bahia de Agua Verde last year, so I'm not going to talk a whole lot about this place. If you haven't seen that episode, you can look for the link down below. But one of the things I want to say is that in the winter time, this place looked totally different. It's green. It looks like some tropical little paradise, but we're in the Mexican desert. What'd you find?
I just got a tarantula and it's enormous. So go down that route right there. Because he's on the back of his
Oh man, I see it. Oh, he's going to hide. So, even though we've been to this place before, it seems totally different this time. green, and it's not insanely hot. It's maybe 80, 85 degrees, something like that. I think the last time we were here it was low hundreds, so this is pretty nice. But the other thing I'll say is, in general, we try not to go to the same place twice, just because there's too much out there to see. We like to see everything. But for the next, I don't know, next week or so till we get to La Paz, we're gonna go to some of the same places we saw last year, because that's what's here. And we were already here. But it'll be all right, because this place is pretty amazing.
And the view from the top, yep, it's not too shabby. After another refreshing swim in some pretty amazing water, we motored our way south and made a pit stop for the night at this place, Puerto de los Gatos. Next morning, with sunny skies overhead and just a wisp of wind on the horizon, we left this place behind and made our way to one of my favorite places in the entire Sea of Cortez.
All right, we made it to Isla San Francisco yesterday afternoon, and I've already talked about this place before in one of our old videos, so you may have already heard this. But this place was on my list of must-see places for almost 20 years. Back when I first started dreaming about sailing around the world, I read an article in a magazine, a sailing magazine. It showed this place. So all those years where I was dreaming about leaving or stuck in the daily grind, this is the place I dreamed about. We've already been here twice, so you may have already seen this place, but since we're here and it's pretty awesome, we're going to climb to the top and then probably ride out this big weather system that's coming down the sea. We'll probably catch the front, head a little farther south, and beyond. But this place, it's one of my favorites in the entire Sea of Cortez, and we're here. So we're going back to the top. Going up there. Up we go to the tippity top.
With a big weather system pushing its way down the Sea of Cortez, we grabbed hold of the front, rode it south, and went looking for a place to hide for a few days.
All right, we made it to Ensenada Grande. We just rode the front of a big northerly that's coming down the Sea of Cortez. And since this big northerly is going to be blowing for a few days, we're going to be living here, which is not a bad place to be hanging out.
And since this place was going to be home sweet home for the next few days, we rounded up our new neighbors in the anchorage and made our way to the top of the island.
We did it! We did it!
But actually, we didn't. The real summit, that's all the way on the other side of the island. So, off we went. just after we got back from our big hike, that's when it started. The big blow. For the next 4 days, we'd be pinned down in this protected little spot with winds ripping through between 30 and 40 knots. And just outside our protected little hidey hole, we'd heard reports of winds topping 70 knots.
Well, we were pinned down for 4 days waiting for a big weather system to blow over, and now it's gone. In the anchorage we had 30 to 40 knots at times, which was kind of miserable. But now we're moving. We've got a break in the weather, we got about 20 knots on the stern, and we're heading to La Paz. But the exciting thing, after almost 2 weeks, our cell phones have signal. So we're going to catch up with some people. See you in La Paz.
And that's about it for this episode. Thanks for watching, and join us next time as we tackle our water maker woes.